Blog Talk Radio.
Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to this week's Tigers edition on Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. It is Sunday, June 29th, 2014 at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Questions of the night. How sweet it was for the Tigers to get revenge on the Texas Rangers in Arlington. Were the Astros a little better this year? Were the Astros a little better this year than they were last year? Or were the Tigers getting a little too cocky against them? Why did Ausmus put in Ian Kinsler after deciding to rest him on the same day earlier today, and pinch hit him in the 8th for Alex Avila, who hit a home run, a long home run, that is. The number to call to voice your opinion or be a guest or a co-host is, or answer the question with your opinions, is 646-478-4837. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and Pinterest as Taylor Phillips. Google Plus, that is. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page, and join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group, to become a more educated and serious Detroit sports fan. And follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at DT2Phillips. No homers allowed. There's also a chat window on blogtalkradio.com on all my episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show for you to comment on with your opinions. Guidelines: if you have called in, stay on the line. If you hang up, redial the number 646-478-4837 and then stay on the line. You'll have 30 minutes total to do so. Keep it very clean. No profanity, no vulgarity or any stuff like that. Just keep it 100% clean. Treat the show with respect. No yelling, no trolling. No nothing. If you don't know much about the Tigers or any Detroit sports, you can still just listen. You're always welcome to, because you're part of my audience. And only I can change topics because I'm the head host of the show. Let's start off with the weekend review. Tigers had last Monday off. Then they headed to after sweeping the Indians a weekend ago. Then they headed to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington and take on the Texas Rangers. First off, on Tuesday night, Ian Kinsler hit his first home run back in Arlington in his first at-bat as an opposing player against the Rangers, against his former teammates. Make it 1-0 Detroit in the first inning. Adrian Beltre tied it at 1 with a single in a jam in the third inning and finished 4 for 4. Drew Smyly and Colby Lewis were dueling it out through 6 innings. And then the Tigers' bats started exploding in the 7th inning. First off, J.D. Martinez blasted a 405-foot 2-run homer to straightaway center. 2 RBI singles by Alex Avila and Rajai Davis, and a bases-loaded walk by Victor Martinez capped up a 5-run 7th inning. And then Kinsler added 2 more in the 8th on a 2-run single. Chad Smith pitched the 9th and gave up 1 run, but that was all the Rangers could muster as the Tigers went on to win that one 8-2. Wednesday, Torrey Hunter returned to the starting lineup after sitting out for over a week with a bad hamstring cramp. The Tigers jumped out to an early 5-0 lead, but Anibal Sanchez really struggled through 5 1/3 innings and still got the win. The Rangers scored 3 in the 4th, but Victor and J.D. Martinez went back-to-back on home runs in the 5th inning, making it 7-3. The Rangers kept coming back with a run in the 6th and another in the 7th, making it 7-5. But Eugenio Suarez, their shortstop, saved the night offensively with an RBI double. But in that play, Brian Holiday ran through third base coach Dave Clark's stop sign and was gunned down at the plate by 5 miles. That RBI double by Suarez made it 8-5. Going straight to the 9th inning, Joe Nathan only gave up one run on Adrian Beltre's RBI single. That's just Adrian Beltre. He'd been red hot in this series, but Nathan got Alex Rios to ground into a force out and then struck out former Tiger Carlos Pena to pick up his 16th save. Thursday, Rick Porcello took the hill and pitched his second Tigers won Wednesday's game 8-6. Thursday, Tigers won 6-0 to complete a series sweep. Rick Porcello pitched his second career complete game shutout. Only gave up 3 hits, walked 3, and struck out 6. Miguel Cabrera went 4 for 5 with a double and just one RBI. The Tigers chased Nick Martinez after touching him for 4 runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings. 3 of them came in the third inning. 3 of them came in the 3rd on a 2-run single. That was the 3rd and 4th innings. My mistake. 3 of them came in the 3rd inning on a 2-run single by Austin Jackson and a bases-loaded walk by Victor Martinez, which was his second bases-loaded walk drawn in the series. The Tigers got the last 2 runs on a J.D. Martinez sacrifice fly in the 4th and a Cabrera RBI double in the 8th. Boy, they didn't score any runs in the 4th. Yeah, they scored 1 in the 2nd. And 3 in the 3rd. On a 2-run single by Jackson and a Victor Martinez bases-loaded walk. And Victor Martinez's second bases-loaded walk of the series. J.D. Martinez had his 14-game streak come to a halt, going 0 for 4, but finished with an RBI sacrifice fly. Again, Tigers won that one Thursday, 6-0. Going to Houston, the Astros took Friday's game 4-3 in 11 innings. Justin Verlander got through the first 5 innings, giving up only 1 run, but gave up 2 more in the 6th due to tricky base running by the Astros and a couple meatballs he threw to the hitters. Verlander gave up an RBI double, and then the runners on the corners, and they performed a double steal stunt, a successful one. The Tigers tied up at 3 in the 8th inning with a reach by Miguel Cabrera on an error, allowing Ian Kinsler to score from second. The bullpen did just fine until Blaine Hardy mistakenly hung a curveball to Jason Castro, who made him pay by taking him deep for a walk-off solo homer in the 11th inning. Phil Koch pitched a flawless full inning. Moving on to Saturday, the Astros touched Max Scherzer with a 2-run single by Alex Presley in the first inning, but since then Scherzer was lights out. Got out of a couple jams. Eugenio Suarez got the Tigers on the board first. On the board, actually. On the board second. Astros got on the board first. Suarez got the Tigers on the board with an RBI single of his own, making it 2-1 in the 5th inning. There were other scoring chances the Tigers had, but couldn't capitalize until the 9th inning when Ian Kinsler, who had two scoring chances earlier and was due, 2 failed scoring chances and was due, hit a key 3-run homer to left center field, putting the Tigers up 4-2. Presley took Joe Nathan deep for a leadoff solo homer in that same inning, but that was the only mistake Nathan would make, as he settled down and buckled in and got the other 3 batters out to pick up his 17th save. A pop out to Kinsler, a strikeout, and a fly out to Austin Jackson in center, who substituted late in the game. Nathan got his 17th save, like I just mentioned. Phil Koch, who pitched a flawless 8th inning, got the win. Phil Koch has done pretty well. I'm going to get to that just a bit later in the show. 646-478-4837 is the number to call if you have any opinions. Just call in. To today's game, Drew Smyly went off to a very sluggish start and gave up 4 runs, though, through just 2 1/3 innings. The first 3 came in the first inning, and the 4th came on a home run in the 3rd. Smyly gave up a total of 8 hits, walked 2, and struck out 3. The Astros took that one 6-4 to take 2 out of 3 in that series. After today's game, manager Brad Ausmus reported to the media that Smyly was having an upper respiratory issue, meaning he was sick, which caused the flat start. The sickness occurred yesterday at first, which was why Drew Smyly shouldn't have pitched at all today. Smyly tried to fight through it instead of telling Ausmus that in the first place. That's a tip for the team. That's my quick tip for the team segment here on my show. The Tigers tried a few times to come back with a Torrey Hunter RBI double in the 3rd inning, and an Alex Avila solo homer in the 5th inning off the facing of the second deck in right field. Wow. And a 2-run triple by Nick Castellanos in the 8th inning with 2 out. After that triple, Alex Avila was scheduled to bat but Brad Ausmus decided to pinch hit Ian Kinsler for Avila, and Kinsler struck out on just 4 pitches. Now, Ian Kinsler was supposed to rest in that game with Jackson leading off and Hunter batting second. Andrew Romine started at second base with Suarez at short. I guess that Brad Ausmus had trouble making up his mind. Tigers hitters were hitting the ball hard, but right at the outfielders, right at the infielders, and a lot of you think normally that it's bad luck.
I want you here. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't talk to me.
What I'm talking about is skill hitting. The Tigers, like Miguel Cabrera usually does, have to hit with skill, not just hit the ball hard. And don't even tell me that hitting the ball hard is all they got to do.
I want you here. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't talk to me.
For example, if some hitter is trying to hit a home run and they hit the ball hard just to fly out, they're not hitting the ball hard enough. And if a hitter tries to hit a single to beat the shift, and with the shift being played, with the overshift being played, and they hit it right to the infielder, that's not hitting with skill. You have to hit it. You have to try to hit it by the fielders. And if you're going to hit a home run, use more power. That's another tip. That's another tip for the team segment right here on my show. 12 minutes left on this episode of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show, the Tigers edition, Sunday, June 29th, 2014, from 11 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Call in at 646-478-4837 to voice your opinion or to be on the show. My opinion counterpoints: the Joe Nathan haters are still out in full force as they were earlier this season. They must not have looked around the game of baseball. Yes, Nathan has given up at least a run in his last few innings, but lately he has done well and gotten it done. See, after giving up one run in Texas, for example, Nathan kept his cool and got the last two out. One being a force out, and then the other being a strikeout, and then the save yesterday in Houston, late afternoon. Nathan gave up a leadoff home run to Alex Presley. He made a mistake. He hung a curveball, a hanging slider actually, but after that he settled down and buckled in and just got the job done. He got the 3 outs and got the save. He's made 4 saves in his last 5 save opportunities. I know 5 saves still isn't good, but I know 5 saves still isn't good for a closer, but come on, he doesn't suck.
I want you here. What's What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
Troll Nathan all you want, but at least follow along better if you're gonna watch watch how Joe Nathan has performed as of late. Non-counterpoints, for those of you who may have watched lately, and I know most of you have, Phil Coke keeps pitching well, proving even more haters dead wrong. Dead wrong. About his last 10 innings, he hasn't even given up a run. None. 0 runs. If you look at his ERA, it has lowered. It has hit rock bottom. It has sunk. His ERA has sunk. Due to the way he has gotten it done. Week ahead, interesting series at home as the Tigers welcome the AL West leading Oakland Athletics into Comerica Park for a 3-game series. And then the struggling Tampa Bay Rays come into town for a 4-game series. That all starts a 9-game homestand that follows with a 2-game series, a short one next week. Taking a look at the standings, the Tigers are running away with the AL Central lead all of a sudden, just a bit, but not quite a lot though. They are now 44-34 and lead the 42-39 Kansas City Royals by 3.5 games, followed by the Cleveland Indians 6.5 behind at 39-42. The Chicago White Sox hanging by a thread, 7.5 back at 39-44. And the Twins in last place, 8 back at 37-43. The Athletics lead the AL West at 51-30, but aren't exactly running away as of late despite winning their last 4 games because the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim have crept up 5.5 games behind them. In second place there. The Rays are in last place, of course, in the AL East at 35-49, but just 10 games back of the division-leading Toronto Blue Jays, who are 45-39 and have lost 3 straight. I think forget how the Rays did today, but you can check all the scores at MLB.com, and so can I. Other Detroit sports updates. The Red Wings have selected centers Dylan Larkin, Christopher N., and Dominic Turgeon, goaltender Chase Perry, left winger Julius Fahalo, and centers Axel Holmstrom and Alexander Kudakin in the NHL draft. Wish Ken Holland best of luck with them. I would know at least one of them. Axel Holmstrom, Thomas's son, I guess. And Dominic Turgeon is another one I might know. Pierre Turgeon's son, apparently. Dylan Larkin is the Red Wings' top 2014 draft pick. Of course, the Wings need better goal scorers, but they also need better defensemen. They're looking for younger forwards and veteran defensemen. That's what they're looking for. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. No callers again tonight. Very slow as always. So you can always call in at 646-478-4837 or log on to blogtalkradio.com and search Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, Google Plus, and Pinterest as Taylor Phillips. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Show, and Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page, and join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group, to become a more educated and serious Detroit sports fan. And follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at DT2Phillips. Also, chat on my show on my episodes of the Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on blogtalkradio.com. Comment with your opinions. I'll be back next week, Sunday at 11. Until then, this is Taylor Phillips saying TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.